After 2 years of Rigathi Gachagua, alias Womunyoro, laying traps around State House to try and stave off a handshake, it happened, guys, regardless.
Hiyo ikulu nimeweka mitego kila kona, kila pale, kila bahali nimeweka na niko na watu.
I know many Kenyans were eager to support him in shielding us from another handshake, but unfortunately, I don't think setting traps would have been the effective strategy here. It's like trying to stop random girls from hitting on your boyfriend or putting lipstick on his shirt. They will be like, tunataka huyo wa lipstick kwa shati. Boyfriend snatchers will always have a strategy. Also, would it have been easier for Rigathi Gachagua to just face Ruto and say, I know you are seeing someone behind my back. Yeah, stop it. Love analogies aside, Ruto did not always want to do this because sharing is not necessarily a good thing, and where government is concerned, the fewer you are, the bigger the portion. Remember that shareholding thing? Yeah. But if your life and survival depends on a handshake, hell yeah. You'd go down on your knees, stretch your unpopular hand in the direction of Raila, and atone for your past statements. Here is William Ruto.
We must not build our politics around individuals. We must build our politics around institutions.
And as a believer in running an accountable government, our position is that we should never be in the position that this country was put by the handshake.
Okay, give us a clean take.
Ndugu yangu mkubwa Raila Amolo Odinga, kwa kunishika mkono na kuunganisha Kenya mzima.
Tumesema tunataka kuunganisha Wakenya wote wawe kama kitu kimoja, ili vijana waweze kupata ajira.
Yeah, right. You've just heard how crucial shaking of hands is for unity. And I know you are thinking, but this handshake will choke the opposition, kill oversight and completely eliminate all important checks and balances. You know what? You're right. That's exactly what it's meant to do. When people are united, like, Ruto and Raila are, they now need checks and balances. Oh, okay, my bad. They need checks. Spelled slightly different though, yeah? Now, for a country like Kenya, which has had handshakes since antiquity, this free-rolling oversight, devoid environments have been perfect for solving the country's most troublesome issues. And with every situation of incompetence, unity has always arisen. Remember when Mzee Daniel Moi was also faced with the challenge of uniting the country, creating jobs and bringing down the price of unga and things like that? He shook hands with young Raila, who was already adept at economics. And although the ending of this relationship was somewhat acrimonious, with Raila's NDP disuniting itself from KANU in the famous episode of Tinga Kunguruma Ndani ya Jogo, this did not stop Emilio Mwai Kibaki from declaring, kama baya ni baya, hata mimi nitasalimia Raila. And kusalimiana they did. But the honeymoon was short-lived. Kibaki started putting passwords on his phone and spared no cash for Bay's outings, which created an outcry.
Waziri mkuu anakuja kwa sherehe kubwa kama na hii ya serikali, PC hakuna. Unaambia PC mmeenda Nairobi.
That's like a generational sin, or should I call it a fetish. Uhuru too couldn't refrain from giving it a shot. The Uhuru-Raila handshake ended with Raila's allies blaming Uhuru for not signaling the deep state to intervene and hand Raila a win in the 2022 elections. And this was a major low for Raila's people, given the very high hopes that his people had with the handshake, and by extension, the system also known as the deep state.
But every time we win the elections, we are robbed of that victory. That victory is known to the whole country, but we never go to State House. And that's something which we are missing. It's called system.
The system obviously didn't deliver as per Uhuru's forecast. And fast forward to 2025, and we have yet another high-voltage handshake. Helpful or inevitable? Depends on who you ask. But we can agree the cracks were showing after the Gen Z protests climaxed on June 25th, 2024. Womunyoro and Wasugoi weren't on the same page anymore, with Raila stepping in to rescue the boat. Ruto promised him a job far away at the AU so that he can only come home once in a while. It's almost like sending your teenage son to go stay with his uncles because he plays annoying music at night. But in your heart of hearts, you know he will always come back. Now, unfortunately, Ruto and Raila's mission to unite Africa imploded at the end. It's almost as if all the AU babes saw Raila step into the room and they were like, we don't like your vibe, man.
I am a father of 4, a grandfather of 5, and a husband of 1 that I know of.
So they popped their balloons. So many factors were blamed: diplomatic fumbles, geopolitical problems, language barrier that made it impossible to reach Francophone Africa. Which makes me wonder, Raila and Ruto are pretty good at dialects. Haven't you heard Musangarire? Musangarire, anda komese, mwadhani yako sure. So why did it not work for French? At this point, I can only make 2 deductions. That French is a difficult, language. And secondly, no one can unite Africa. Not even this guy. So handshake mode in high gear. These 2 gentlemen wanted to show that the people were behind it. You know, the typical use the people to legitimize a political fraud kind of thing. On one side, the rapid consultations were happening. And on the other hand, something else was happening. Raila's allies were taking up plum jobs in parliament. If you were to ask me, this doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it doesn't. It's like asking your friends if you should marry Dixon while you've already ferried a basket of clothes to his place and you've already paid for the cake and the wedding dress. Hey, Jack, should I marry Dixon? Aki woye, ni advice yako nategemea. And then immediately after you're done calling your girl Jackie, you are on the other phone with your tailor. Hey, Fundi, when can I fit my dress? Like, who does that? Who does that? Raila, of course. The truth is, Kenyans are just rubber stamps in these political games. Does it hurt? No, it doesn't. It hurts really bad. So, President Ruto and Honorable Raila Odinga, if you want to be together, just be together, all right? You don't have to say it's the people who asked us to be together. The people of Kenya, especially the youth, may not have bought into the political deal you've just struck, but don't for a second think that because they haven't endorsed it, they won't hold you accountable for the premise upon which this handshake was made. You may have been joking when you said you needed a handshake to fix the problems of this country, for SHA to work, to fix the cost of living and youth unemployment, for abductions to end, tackling corruption, and even to fix the broken education system. There is actually something that we use in this country that is supposed to address issues such as those of accountability, the fight against corruption, and the safeguarding of rights. Take a guess. What could it be? It is called the Constitution. Inside there, you'll read something about the right of the Kenyan child to access quality education no matter where they are in the republic. There is something about the rights that shouldn't be compromised, delayed, or negotiated. If you're a parent and you get a text saying, on Monday, we will not be picking up your daughter because of an outstanding school fees balance, you don't rush to your neighbor to shake their hand or, give them a hug and ask if they will, they still like your face before paying the fees. No, you just clear the balance alongside ensuring that your child has got food, shelter, and clothing. And that's how rights work. You don't need to be in a good mood to fulfill them. And that's just how it is.